Alright troops, so what is the premise of this video? What is the chat tonight? What are the 5 laws of burpee training? What are the 5 laws that encapsulate this high intensity but very productive training style? I'm going to put out 5 laws. Feel free to comment, feel free to fire in some input of your own, and we'll get the ball rolling. So, number 1 is engage the darkness. How do you engage the darkness? Well, first you have to realise what the darkness is. The darkness is the voice in your head trying to force an excuse to stop the training session or cut it at a certain point, and not the point that was originally set at the start of the workout routine. When you get into the burpee game, you create these routines in your head. And you're sitting in your house and you're like, I'm going to do 8,000 Navy SEALs tonight because it sounds amazing. You get these visions and you're just firing through reps like a 5th Dan Kung Fu master, like Neo in the Matrix, just flaring, just absolutely flaring out technique, amazing reps. However, when you start the burpees, the grim reality kicks in. And you start to make excuses in your head. Oh, I think I'll just do 4,000 tonight. I think I'll just do 2,000 tonight. That voice though is a cue for you to work harder. You need to interpret it as such. That is the darkness calling you, so you have to engage the darkness. How do we engage the darkness? We accept the excuse. We understand it for what it is, and we work harder, because that voice is when the magic's starting to happen. That's a test. That's testing you. That's asking you, are you good enough? Do you have the mental endurance to carry this through? Can you do it? That's what that voice is actually saying, and you need to rise to the challenge. So you need to engage the darkness, and you need to sustain your presence with the darkness for as long as possible, because the darkness brings light, and the light is completing the routine. Anybody who does high rep burpee routines knows the feelings of elation and accomplishment that comes at the end of a burpee session, along with the physical trauma. So, law number 1 is engage the darkness, embrace it, see it for what it is. Number 2, you need to vary up your burpee routines. You cannot stick with 6 count burpees, 1 pumps. You need to add pumps in and spend time on the floor. This will ensure progress and allow you to tackle a multitude of routines. If you, for example, start to add 2 pumps in, then you will notice that your 1 pump frequency during a session is more tolerable on the shoulders and chest. So you need to vary up the pumps. Once you've mastered the 1 pump, once you feel your technique is spot on, move on to the 2 pump. Once you've mastered the 2 pump, move on to the 3 pump. And once you've mastered the 3 pump, then it's probably a good time to start heading towards Navy SEAL territory. Once you've taken the Navy SEAL on board, that is when you start to get a grip of this game, because then you can start to master the flow of the burpee, because the pumps are quite easy. You're just hitting the deck, doing the push up and back up, whereas the first time you do a Navy SEAL, there's more limbs involved, so to speak. You're bringing your knees up. It requires more mental focus to complete the movement. However, this in turn will give you the confidence to start adding a flow to your burpees and start linking up movements. So law number 2 is mix up your burpees. Do not stick to one style, keep an open mind. Number 3 is you need to set yourself milestones in your journey. Now, I'm not a big fan of goals, because for me training is the goal. I train because I want to train. There's no determined outcome for me by doing burpees. I enjoy doing burpees. I enjoy the feeling of elation that comes after a burpee routine. I don't do burpees to enhance my physique. I don't do burpees to increase my 5k time. I don't do burpees to have bigger arms. I do burpees because they light a fire up my derriere and I enjoy doing them. And my goal in that sense is enjoyment. Particularly when you've got a busy lifestyle like me, or say someone like Max Edwards, the training and getting that session is the actual goal itself. So you need to create milestones in that respect, because they will give you the confidence to really get deep into the burpee wormhole or rabbit hole, so to speak. What are the milestones though? I would always recommend the milestone of 100 unbroken, 300, 500, 1000, and then 500 Navy SEALs. I would suggest that that is the natural path to master the craft when it comes to burpees. I made a controversial comment in the Move, Sweat and Suffer podcast where I claimed that if you don't do 500 Navy SEALs, you're not a true burpee practitioner. But that was just a wee grenade thrown into the community just to light a fire up a few asses and get people working harder. However, you do have to complete 500 Navy SEALs if you want to master the craft. That will give you the platform to take your game to greater heights. So milestones, or incorporating milestones into your training journey, is law number 3. Law number 4 is that you have to create your own routines. Creating your own routines is essential, because it's going to teach you the art of programming a routine. It's going to get you thinking about the programming that is involved in a quality burpee routine, numbers wise, throwing in chin-ups, pulling, push-pull ratio, bringing a squat in, so forth. You need to create your own routines, because you can't rely on other people's routines. You need to have the power to create your own routines on the hop. You need to be able to improvise routines, and you need to be able to create routines that you know will allow you to engage the darkness. So that ties in with law number 1 in that respect. So law number 4 is you need to create your own routines. Law number 5 is that you should always pay respect to every other burpee practitioner, because they are entering the same darkness that you have and you will from that point on. We are all in this game together. That's why this is a tight-knit community, because we all know the pain we're all going through. We all know that when we hit burpee number 25, that darkness commences. We've all been there. We all have heard the voices in our head. We've all been in that place where the 50th Navy SEAL is causing excruciating pain on the shoulders, but we must march on to the goal of completing the routine. So law number 5 is always pay respect to your fellow burpee practitioner. They're in this for the same reason that you are. We're all trying to spread the word of this movement. It's a hard sell. Burpees are a hard sell. I get so much flack from all angles about burpees. People trying to belittle the movement because they don't see the worth. They've had a bad experience with burpees. They've not took time to study the movement. They've not experienced the joy that comes with completing a burpee session. Because one thing that I'll always say about burpees is that once you get knee deep in this game, you are hooked. You are absolutely sucked in, and you will want more. Case in point was myself. I've been training for years, lifting weights, and I can never really stick to one program for more than 12 weeks. However, burpees is the only modality or training style that I've actually managed to keep going consistently for more than 12 months. It took me 20 years to find that. I wasted a lot of time years ago messing about, and then I found Burpees. We're all in this game together, and we're all here to spread the word. So always pay respect to your fellow Boppy practitioners. This is tough, so we all support each other. So, the 5 laws of Boppy training. Hopefully this has offered some insight into the mindset that this training style creates, and hopefully you decide to join us on this journey, on this path, and start to achieve the true fitness goals or the experience that we've all had the pleasure to endure. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel, as they always say. Fire a comment in. I'm sure some of you may disagree with some of my comments. However, this is what this channel's all about. Just thoughts and training routines and just helping people get started. Anyway, thanks for staying strong and thanks for staying conditioned.